What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy here. I know you haven't seen me in a while. Eating some avocados right now. I want to make a video about some of the crap I've been seeing um, uh, online, especially from so-called, uh, you know, let's just say, Manosphere types, right? Speaking nonsense out of their ass. Now, this is a good video because Valentine's Day is coming up, so I think it's a good idea to pre-mention this video. Might as well, right? Um, because I'm gonna be honest with you, all right. Some of these dudes, I'm gonna just be blunt about some of this manosphere, this other weird shit. I'm gonna be honest. Some of y'all dudes, I'm not gonna say it because you know what? I don't want to say it. Uh, I would say to the brothers out there who are dealing with issues, get the best amount of help that you can. I'm being serious, all right? Some of y'all just need just community based. Y'all need social anchors around you. All right. That's just me just giving advice for some of y'all because it seems like that's what some of y'all do need. Um, which is the reason why some of y'all fall for this bullshit. Or, you know, I want y'all to know something. These are behaviors that are passed down by your daddy and your granddaddy before him. Okay? It's all bullshit. All right? It's all bullshit. Y'all just adopted the behavior and assumed that's how things are, right? Because see things and you just act them out. Patriarchy is tricky that way, right? But remember, at the end of the day, it's all bullshit. You gotta live the life that you want to live based on what you are as a person. You know who you are, right? Don't have these expectations that the patriarchy imposes on you. And unfortunately, I'm not saying I feel hopeless for men sometimes, but I feel like some men just freaking they just drag themselves into the hole they can't get out. They just are fully there, and it's like that's what I believe, and that's it. That's just the reality of what I believe, right? And remember, it's just the reality of what you guys believe. It doesn't really. I mean, it doesn't really fucking exist. But y'all want to believe in the delusion than the actual reality of the circumstance of the world you live in. So thinking that somehow utopia is going to be restored if you subjugate women, you do all this crazy, take us back to the 1950s as if that's going to achieve anything. It's really not going to achieve nothing, really. It really isn't. Um, but, you know, patriarchy is one hell of a drug to some of these dudes. it's just, it's just that's what it is, right? So, you know, that's my advice to some of these other dudes out there who are thinking to join the rabbit hole is to say, step back and reflect on yourself for a minute. Actually think and say to yourself, how can I actually believe this shit? Right? Think for a second, the planet Earth, and think for a minute, half the population of this planet Earth is women. How the fuck can I make the perception or the claim that all women act a certain way based on bullshit propaganda from red pill bullshit? Right? Why do I make claims? I mean, I've said this many times in previous videos. A lot of this sort of, a lot of it's due to patriarchy. I've said it before. There is this sort of, especially in Western culture, this need to like separate women I'm talking about cis hetero patriarchy bullshit right now. So people, you know, I'm not like I ain't forgetting about my, you know, my queer brothers and sisters out there. I'm just talking about cis hetero bullshit. Um, some of these people, you know, they're raised in a culture that says it's just a strenuous thing on gender roles, right? Very, very strict conception of gender roles. It's this binary that we have to hold on to based on I don't fucking know why. Um, it's like well, we have to hold on to this binary. You know what? I always wanted to ask these questions. Now I'm veering off topic, but you know, this is a more me genuinely thinking about this. I've always wondered, especially with with these obsessions with like, oh, we need to have binary things. They must be a man and they must be a woman, whatever the bullshit that is. I always wanted to ask these people, what do you have at stake with this shit, right? I always wanted to ask these people, is something gonna happen if the binary is just completely irrelevant? Is the Earth's crust gonna snap in half? Is Lucifer gonna come out from the ground? And you know, the book of Revelations it becomes true or some shit? Like, what's going on that you assume that if we don't maintain this, if we don't do that, everything is a societal collapse to these fucking people? It's like, well, the society is gonna collapse. How the fuck do you know that? Based on what? Then you realize you know what they mean. I mean, they're afraid of their way of thinking is gonna collapse. That's the Armageddon for them. Um, and at the end of the day, I mean, it doesn't really mean anything. You know, it's just. I've always wanted to ask that. Like, what do you have at stake in maintaining the binary? I always wanted to ask that. What is gonna happen? Right? Is the universe gonna just one day like there's no need to uphold cis heteropatriarchy, right? And somehow like the whole reality of existence is gonna hear that and be like, oh, yo, I think we got to do the big crunch early. What? That's not how this world works. You know, it's like it's like people hear that like the binary or stop doing stuff like you know if we don't follow cis hetero patriarchal bullshit or other bigoted bullshit transphobia whatever, oh, if we don't adhere to this we must maintain the gender binary, like birds are just gonna fly and then out of nowhere they hear it's like what, there's no gender binary, they just all drop to the ground, you know what I mean? They're flying and they're just like what, nosedive. like they, it's like what, I mean this is ridiculous, right? If you really think about it, right? I'm meta like that, I don't know. When I see bigotries around, I always question them and ask like, what the fuck is the point of it? And I always use these examples. Maybe I'm because I'm a philosophy guy at the same time. I just think about these things deeply and say to myself, this doesn't really mean anything. So again, back to the point of the Black Manosphere. I mean, you guys are raised on propaganda that's been passed down by your family for generations. And I've always wanted to ask these guys, do you think the previous generation of men were more happier? They didn't look like they were. Suicide rates, even back in the day, people were still off. Men were still off of themselves. Right? I always say this: the patriarchy has taken so many lives just to maintain its self. Brothers, it's not worth fighting for. It really isn't. That shit needs to be destroyed and just just gone. It serves no purpose. It doesn't serve anything. It just leads to more people being dead for no reason. Right? Masculine posturing, all this other bullshit. What does that do? Huh? What does that do at the end of the day? It doesn't do anything. It leads to more people Just dead on the ground. For what? For fucking what? You know what? You know how I see it. You know how I see patriarchy personally for myself. It's a pitiful existence. It's a worthless and it's a pathetic existence. Because in reality, you're not really fucking free. Y'all motherfuckers are choosing to bound yourselves in shackles. You're literally shackling yourselves. Right? You're shackling yourselves. Literally. That's at that point, what the fuck is the point, right? The fuck is the point? This is why personally I just don't have passion or any care for these. This is just me personally. That's why I don't really care for the incels and the Manosphere PUA. I don't care for this shit. I just don't care for it because it's a pitiful existence these people are living. You know, I don't want to live like that. I don't want to live like that. To me, that's not living. I'm not living for myself. I'm living for an amorphous thing that society has told me I have to live for because there's no justification. It's just telling me I have to live like this because reasons. Same thing with like the wealthy having their boot over those the oppressed. Gotta think about these things, guys. Some of you motherfuckers are shackling yourselves. You've been fooled and duped into believing what patriarchy is meant to offer you. It doesn't offer you shit. Okay? You know what it offers you? My uncle said it best. Patriarchy is only good for one thing: blood, tears, and death. That's all it offers. All for a little bit of control. Anyhow, folks, I just leave it like that. Um, just my quick thoughts. I'm still around, guys. I know I haven't posted videos in a couple of minutes. I've been busy. But yeah, end the video there.